Welcome back to Crochet Inspire Podcast. You're joining live. Please say hello. We are at the beach. It's sunset tonight, and I'll wait a few seconds for people to pop over from the chat room. So if you're joining live for the first time, if you get here before I get here, there's a pre-chat room where you can chat with the other people that are joining. Hi, Joe. Thanks for joining live. I'll wait a few seconds here for people to pop over from the pre-chat room. Yeah, I think we're doing sunset for the very first time on the podcast. So anybody that can join live, great. If you can't, that's okay too, because it gets recorded. You can watch it anytime that is convenient for you. Hi, Christine. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Joe. Hi, Lucy. Thanks for joining live, everybody. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Patsy from Houston, and Val, and Margaret. Yes, the surf is rough tonight. Hi, Kim from Port Charlotte, right up the road, a little over an hour. Hi, Dawn and Kim. Oh, Joe, you're the lone moderator tonight. All right, well, no worries. We're either going to catch them or we're not. Well, but I appreciate you being here. Hi, Rose and Norma and Muddy and Patty, Terry, Tina, and Carrie, and Anna and Kim. Hi, Carrie. Lots of people joining in tonight. This is great. So glad you all could join. And like I said, for anybody that can't join live, the podcast gets recorded, and I know most people end up watching the recorded version, so please feel welcome to say hello or leave comments in the recorded as well, because I have the ability to reply to all of those too. Hi, Kim from UK. Yeah, the waves are rough. We have major storms out in the Gulf right now. In fact, fingers crossed, it doesn't turn into a major storm, but we're watching it for a tropical depression, and hopefully it doesn't turn into anything bigger than that, or God forbid, a hurricane. But we've got major storms out in the Gulf, and they are monitoring it now, and we're supposed to have lots of rain for the next couple of days. So this may be the only time we get to the beach this week. Looks like it's going to be rain, rain, rain. So if I can make it here, great. If I can't, we'll go from my porch or off my studio. So welcome back to Create, Share, Inspire Podcast. This is episode 434, and we are live in Southwest Florida at sunset, the beach on the Gulf of Mexico. And this is our first sunset for the podcast in 434 episodes. How cool is that? Yes, I'm hoping there's no rain tonight. Joe's coming in 23 days. Yes, I certainly hope that the storms are over by then. It should be by then. So if anybody has any questions to start with, shoot. If not, I will get started on the first thing that I want to talk about tonight. I had promised you that during this week of the Christmas in July sale, the week that I have Be So Bold, Be So Lush, Be So Baby, and Be So Serene yarn on sale, I promised that each day this week I would bring a different yarn to show you the colors in person. Yesterday I showed you all the colors of Be So Bold, so if you're interested in that yarn, while it's on sale or regular, you can see the colors on yesterday's podcast, number 433. And today I brought all of my colors of Be So Serene yarn. And funny enough, this is the yarn that I have the hardest time remembering names. So let's see if I get all 9 names right on the first go around. If not, when you go to the website, if you're interested in the yarn and you go to the website, each color is listed in a photo with the name on it. So it's really easy to figure out, even if I don't get it 100% correct. Let's see. So this is a number 2 sport weight yarn made of 100% organic cotton that's 100% USA made, and I hand dye it in my Florida studio. I have it in 9 beautiful hand dyed colors that surprisingly all go together. I know that sounds crazy, but we can mix and match any of the colors and you'll see that they're all beautiful together. It's pretty cool. So after I show all the colors, I'll take requests for putting stuff together and you'll see what I mean. This is Lovable, which is a beautiful like lavender purple, soft. This is Blissful, a bright raspberry pink. Then we have Gentle, which is a pale bronzy gold. Mindful, which is a pale mauve. Tranquil, which is a bright turquoise. Peaceful, which is a beautiful pale peach. Centered, which is a beautiful, like violet, kind of a purple. Grateful, which is a beautiful teal blue. And Hopeful, which is a creamy winter white. So if anybody wants to ask to see any of the colors together, I would be happy to pull 2 and 3 colors together to show you. In the meantime, I'll try to hold all 9 up so we can see them as a collection. Might have to lay some on my chest to do this. Let's see if I can do it. I don't know. It's only 9. I can hold 11 cards in gin. What the heck? It's not the same thing. Okay, so we'll start. This is centered, hopeful, grateful, peaceful, blissful, gentle, tranquil, mindful, and lovable. And I will pick a couple of colors myself, and then from there, if anybody wants to see any, but here are like the pinky purples together. You can even pull the other pinky purples. So we've got lovable, mindful, centered, peaceful, and blissful. Those are all super pretty, and then you can pull, and then I'll just pull the other 4, which are more of the blues and greens. So we've got tranquil, gentle, grateful, and hopeful. It is 113 grams, and it is 315 yards. This is a number 2 sport weight yarn. Number 2 sport weight, 100% organic cotton. Mindful and grateful are really pretty together too. I like that combination, but you really can't go wrong. I mean, they're all so beautiful and they look absolutely gorgeous together. 4 color combinations, 2 color combinations. You just really can't go wrong with it. I mean, imagine this for a colorful motif. It's so gorgeous. Or if you wanted to do like a color work yoke on a sweater and then go to a solid color for the bottom. I mean, you really can't go wrong doing color work with this. You could randomly pick any of them. They all look beautiful together. And I don't know how I did that. But honestly, you can't pick a bad combination. They all look good together. If anybody has a specific request, please feel welcome to say so. Otherwise, we'll just move on to something else we're going to talk about tonight. But I'll wait a second to see if anybody wants to see anything specifically. See if I can move the camera so you can see more of the sun on the water. Oh, that woman's there, but oh well, that's okay. I guess it's not just our beach. We have to share it with other people. Dolly's here with us. Can you see Dolly the Wonder Wagon? Because it's later in the day and it's so busy at the beach this time of day, A, I had to park in the parking structure, which was a further walk, and B, I had to walk a lot further down the beach to find an open spot to sit down. So yeah, it was definitely a lot more work. I'm glad I'm not sweating. So yay me. It's probably the wind. It is beautiful here, and I'm so happy to share it with all of you. Is the camera crooked, or is it fine now? I want to make sure you get plenty of that beautiful water. Hopefully the wind isn't too obnoxious. I mean, the wind is what's giving us these beautiful waves. Is the yarn for anything? You can make anything with Be So Serene yarn. It's a number 2 sport weight yarn. It's 350 yards per hank, so I mean, you could do lots of small projects in one ball. You can do lots of projects with 2 balls. 630 yards of number 2 sport weight yarn is plenty of yarn to do a smaller size, like a 36-inch bust in some tops. You can also do some small to medium shawls with 2 balls. And then obviously if you went into 3 balls, pretty much nothing you couldn't make with 900 yards of yarn. So you do have lots and lots of options with something that's this high of yardage for a number 2 sport weight yarn. And I have lots of patterns for it in many of my books. Motif Magic has projects in Be So Serene yarn. Katie Handmade Gift has projects in this yarn. Layers Knit and Layers Crochet both have projects with Be So Serene yarn. And I have free patterns on my website as well. So anyway you want to look them up, there's lots to choose from, and it's easy to substitute a number 2 sport weight pattern. And if you have any questions, by all means leave them for me in the comments. More so in the recorded version of the podcast because I can't really type while we're doing the live stream, but save your comments or questions for the recorded version and I'll be more than happy to help you out there as well. All right, next thing I wanted to talk to you about tonight is foundation ovals. I know some of you, you're welcome Kim, I know some of you already understand foundation ovals and have been enjoying them for a long time in my patterns. I don't know if I invented it or not. I don't know if it existed before I thought of it. I did come up with it organically in my head, whether it existed before or not. And I did come up with the name foundation ovals because I find that they are a great substitute for foundation stitches, which are a great substitute for the beginning chain in a project. A beginning chain is very rigid, it has no elasticity. So anytime you want your beginning edge and your final edge to match and be symmetrical, you really need them to have the same amount of elasticity. So let's say you start a row with a chain, but then you finish with double crochets, there's no way they're going to be the same width because they have a different type of elasticity. So I brought a couple of different projects tonight that use foundation ovals in different ways. And I brought some yarn in case we have some time to work on some foundation ovals. And if we don't get through all of it tonight, that's fine, because I actually have even more projects that I could bring tomorrow, and we could make this a 2-part discussion on foundation ovals, because it really is a ton to say about it. So, to start with, I wanted to show you some different ways that I've used foundation ovals and how incredibly versatile they are, as well as invisible in lots of cases. So this is, what's it called? I got all the yarn names right. This is called the Rio. This is called the Rio Crochet Mobius. And it's done in, a twisted Mobius. But you know how sometimes the easy way to do a twisted Mobius is to crochet a flat piece, then twist it and seam it together. Well, this one is done the more traditional way that you do a Mobius, and that's where you do foundation ovals in the center, and then as you begin your first round, you work into the top and bottom of the foundation ovals, creating a figure 8, so that as you continue working those rounds, this direction outward and this direction outward are all done in the same round. So this round here is part of this round here. If that doesn't make sense, we can talk about it further in the studio where I can lay it out flat and really make this a meaty tutorial. But tonight we're just going to gloss over everything. But if anybody has a question about that specifically, please feel welcome to say so. But the beauty of where can you find, my website is KristinOmdahl.com. And if you don't understand the sale, you need to go to my blog on my website, and it's all spelled out in this week's blog post that tells you exactly what's on sale and how it all works. Because everything is without coupon codes, it's super easy. You just put what you want in your cart, and as you go to checkout, the discount is automatically taken. So this is one example of using foundation ovals as an invisible beginning to a Mobius. And if I didn't point it out right there, I think you would not really be able to recognize where it is. If you look closely, you can see that the stitches are upside down on this side and right side up on this side. But from a glance, you'd never see that there's a starting chain in there. If you did foundation single crochets, you'd see that line. If you did a chain, a long chain, you would see that line. But with foundation ovals, you don't see anything, and it ends up looking quite invisible. This is a free pattern on my website. It's called the Rio Mobius. I've done it in multicolor and in one color, and I think the photos of both are on there. So search Rio Mobius on my website. Then another way that we've done invisible foundation ovals is in the Chantilly lace vest. And let's see if I can find, here we go. So here's where the foundation ovals are here. And as you can see, if you look closely, the stitch pattern is reversed, going this way and this way, right? But if you back it up, there is absolutely an invisible joint. It's absolutely invisible, and you really can't see where it is. If you did a starting chain or foundation single crochets, you would see where your seam is. But with the foundation oval, you don't see the seam, and I think that that's just awesome. Another way that I've used it before is in the super popular Sweet Clara top. And you can see when you're using it as the beginning of a top-down construction top, the foundation oval not only gives you a little more of elasticity in the top, in the edge, but it also gives you, ooh, ouch, ouch, ouch. Okay, the corner of my baggie bit my leg, not a monster. Okay, so on this top, you can see that the foundation ovals not only give you a nice elastic edge, but it also gives you a little bit of a scallop because we only worked into one side of the foundation oval, so the other side ends up being a little bump or a little scallop. Isn't that pretty? And I have several other projects in my studio, in my amazing I tell you, you know those organizational bins that I bought recently, the ones with the great window on them where you can get in from the side and the top? I'll say the names of all of them again in a minute. I went to pull these projects tonight for the podcast. I went in, boom, 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 website pattern, website pattern, website pattern. I did not think to grab stuff from books, but I knew that if we talked about this at length, that we would probably talk about it again on a second episode. So that's why I only brought 3. I figured that's all we had time for. Yes, so I see a lot of people are excited to hear the names of the projects again, so I will name them. Oh, and somebody asked about my top. Yes, this is my same Amazon cardigan, but in navy, to go with my same Amazon tank dress, but in another daisy floral print. This is the Sweet Clara top, which is a top-down construction, beautiful crochet lace top that is a free pattern on my website. It comes with charts, written instructions for lots of different sizes, and it also has a 7-part video series here on my YouTube channel. And if you go look for the pattern on my website, the link to the videos is there as well, but you can search for it here on YouTube. It's called the Sweet Clara top. Then this is the Rio Mobius, also crochet. Super easy, super simple, and it takes about 300 yards to make one of these. So you could use 1 ball of Be So Serene. I've done this in 1 ball of Be So Sporty, which will be the dark green sample that you'll see on the pattern page. And then this one was done in 1 ball of Be So Bold yarn. So you could do this type of project in 1 ball of number 2 sport weight yarn. So any of my sport weight yarns, Be So Sporty, Be So Sporty Bling, Be So Serene yarn. I'm probably missing some. Be So Soulful yarn, which is my sock yarn. That's also number 2. But I've also substituted a number 4 worsted weight yarn here, which is Be So Bold yarn, and it worked out beautifully as well. So that would be a great one for that one. Sandra, I don't know if the bins are moth-proof. I don't recall, but if you go to my Amazon shop and check out the link, it has tons of information on them on the shopping page, and it's probably something that's listed on there. Or you could ask the seller. They'd probably be good about answering that too. And then this is the 3rd piece that we talked about tonight with invisible foundation ovals, and this is called the Chantilly lace vest. This is done in Be So Fine yarn, which is a number 1 fingering weight yarn that's 100% bamboo. Yes, Carrie, they do zip up. The top is fully zipped and the front is fully zipped, so I do feel like it does close them up really well, but I'd hate to say something and not know if it's true. So I do not know for sure if they're moth-proof. I feel really confident that they're going to be dust-proof in my house. There's a lot of yarn in there in my house because of winding so much yarn all the time, because I wind all of the yarn for every order. No one has to wind their own yarn when they shop with me. So because of that, there's always a lot of dust in my house. And so it's important to me to keep things up locked and sealed. And I know that those zippers keep it perfectly locked and sealed from dust. All right, does anybody have any other questions about these? Because if not, I'm going to try to do a quick little demo and get started on a foundation oval. Don't know how far we'll get, but I will give it a try. You're welcome, Tina. I'm happy to wind yarn for everybody. I know how difficult it can be, especially if you don't know what you're doing or you don't have the right tools. And I have the right tools, so I'm happy to make it easy and pleasant. Okay, so foundation ovals. They don't have to be one specific way. You can make them in all sorts of ways. So I'm going to start with the smallest one that I use, and I'm just going to hold the yarn up to the camera. We're not doing a true tutorial overhead shot. I want to keep my hands up so I can read comments and questions as I go. So you're getting the idea of it without actually learning the stitches this way. We'll do a proper tutorial for that. So the smallest foundation oval that I ever use is a chain 3 and then double crochet in the third chain from hook. Okay, so here is one foundation oval. And you can see that it has a space in the center. Okay, so when I make a foundation, and then to make more of them, we're going to make a strip of them. So I would do chain 3 again, and then double crochet in that third chain from the hook, which would be the first chain made after the previous foundation oval. So now we've got 2 foundation ovals. For some reason, this was a hard concept for a lot of people to learn who've never done foundation ovals before. People will email me and say, there's no beginning chain written in your project. I don't know how to get started. I'm like, that's because there isn't. There's foundation ovals instead. Yeah, but how many chains do I start with? No, it's foundation ovals. And then when sometimes people don't understand that you don't have to do something different. Christine, that's a great question. If a pattern calls for 120 chains, how many ovals would that be? Depend on what you're using the ovals for. If you're using them for a multiple of 3 stitches, you might want to do multiples of this. So a chain 3 double crochet is what I would consider the equivalent of 3 chains. You could if you wanted something a little bit looser but not going up to 4, you could do a chain 4 and still double crochet in the 4th chain from your hook. So I'll do that a couple times, and you can see it just makes the hole a little bit bigger. But it would still be the equivalent of a chain 3 in my opinion. So I'll do a chain 4 again, and then double crochet in that 4th chain from the hook or the 1st chain. And you can see here, our first 3 are really tight, and then our next 2 have more of a scallop to them. Now, going forward, if you needed something to be a multiple of 4 stitches, you could do a chain 4 and treble crochet. So chain 4 and then treble crochet in the 4th chain from your hook. So it's yarn over twice, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. I know, it does sound harder than it looks. It's really, really easy. So there's a chain 4 treble crochet cluster, and I would use that in replacing, if I was replacing a chain 4 or using something that had a multiple of 4 stitches if I'm trying to do it in a stitch pattern. So then you could go up from there too. You could do a chain 5 and a double treble. Yarn over 3 times, insert your crochet hook. Yarn over, pull up the loop. Yarn over, pull through 2, through 2, through 2, and through 2. So there we have a double treble foundation oval. And think about it, depending on if your stitch pattern is a multiple of 3, 4, or 5, or if your starting chain was a multiple of 3, 4, or 5, depending on what you're using it for, you could make these as small or as big as you need. I'll give you an example. So On something like this, you would want the let's see, let's start with the simpler one. On something like this, you could use a small one because we're only putting 3 double crochets in each foundation oval. So you could do the chain 3 double crochet or the chain 4 double crochet foundation oval here, because we're only trying to fill 3 stitches in there, so you could do the smaller one. On something like the Swing Clara top, and I'm not sure which ones I did in there, but I'm saying in general, if you're trying to substitute it, this one has 7 stitches in that first oval, so you might want to do the chain 4 or the chain 5 oval for this particular type of pattern to be able to fit them in better. It depends on how much space you need to cover. Kim's never heard of a double treble before. Well, that means we ought to do it one more time then. It's probably really cool to see if you've never seen one. So a double, we'll do chain 5. A double treble crochet is yarn over 3 times, insert your hook in the chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, through 2, through 2, and through 2. And you could keep going. You could do triple treble, quadruple treble. You can make super duper long stitches. So if you just follow the pattern of double crochet to treble to double treble, you can get the gist of it and make your stitches as long as you want. And if you want to see individual videos on any of these stitches, the foundation ovals, the double crochet, treble, double treble, or any of them, I have a huge library of stitch videos here on my YouTube channel called, I think it's called Kristin Omdahl's Crochet Stitch Library. And oh, by the way, recently, or a while back, someone had complained that the names of the stitches were written after the title of the series, and it was hard to read them. So I went back into all those videos and I edited the title of all of them so that the name of the stitch comes first, so it's much easier to reference them and to, at a glance, pick which video you want to watch. You can find them here on my YouTube channel. Each video has a right hand, a left hand, and a slow motion version of each stitch. And if you want another place to be able to bookmark to find them, there's a page on my website called How to Crochet, and I have all of those videos embedded into that page, along with the line by line written instructions for each stitch as well. Oh, someone's asking what yarn this is. That's a great question. This is Be So Tender yarn, which is my number 4 worsted weight organic cotton that has this gorgeous thick and thin texture to it. It is so soft and beautiful. I love it. And this color is called Blush. So we're going to run out of time, so I won't be doing any more of the tutorial, but we'll pick up where we left off maybe tomorrow morning or the next couple of days. I think you're going to like learning more about foundation ovals because we've really only started touching on it. There are so many different ways that I've used foundation ovals and so many ways I haven't used them yet. So, oh, I've done it as fringe. Yeah, there's so much we can talk about this. So we'll pick up where we left off on another time. If it works tomorrow, we will. Now, I would like to ask you all to please pick a number between 1 and 5, and I will pick one of the 5 issues of my Creation Inspire notebooks, and then from that issue, I will randomly pick a quote to share with everybody. Okay, Holly, and Tina said 5. That's what I saw first. So we'll grab the 5th issue, and we'll randomly pick a quote. Oh, my nose is itchy. Okay, this quote is from Mark Aurelius. I love him. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Just be one. I love this. I love this so much. Sometimes I think that when we talk about the negative, we just attract more negative. Instead of talking about what we don't want, just do what is right. Oh, I know. I thought I saw a thing too. I don't know. Maybe it was a swimmer. Ah, Anna received her books from me today. Wonderful. Yeah, so what I was saying is, you know, I think a lot of times we focus on what we don't want, and sometimes that's okay. It's okay to know what you don't want, and it's okay to figure out what you don't want. But then it's good to let it go and focus on what you do want, or focus on what you do want to do. Instead of worrying about what you don't want to do what you do want to do. Whatever I said. But that's what I think about when I think about this quote. Don't talk about what you don't like what other people are doing. Just do the right thing. Just do it. That's it. Don't worry about what other people are doing. And remember, other people's opinions of me are what? None of my business, right? Just go out. If you want people to be better, go out and be a better person. That's it. And you'll spread your positive vibes everywhere. All right, so Marcus Aurelius, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. I love it. So good. But also remember, as much as we love self-improvement and bettering ourselves, always remember you're good enough just as you are right now too. And if you need a reminder to go look in the mirror and tell yourself that, please take this. You're good enough just as you are. It's awesome to improve, and it's awesome to want to be better than what you were yesterday, but you're still good enough right now too. Yes, good advice from Marcus Aurelius. Awesome. All right, does anybody have any other questions? All right, tomorrow's podcast will be at 7:45 in the morning, and it is already posted, scheduled. So if you want to go click the notifications to get reminded now, fine. If you've already subscribed to my channel, great. If you've already clicked the bell notification button and set up settings on your phone, then you're probably all set that way too. So either way, if you'd like to join me live tomorrow morning, fantastic. If it doesn't work for you, it will get recorded and you can watch it anytime that's convenient for you. Just leave me comments so I know you're there and I can appreciate you joining the conversation. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy evening to spend a few minutes here with me. I hope you enjoyed the beginning of the sunset, the gorgeous rough waves, my show and tell with the Be So Serene yarn that's on sale, the tutorial about foundation ovals, chatting with me and everyone else here. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.